Warning, this podcast was produced by two men who still think that swearing is both big and clever. As a result, it contains quite a lot of it. Therefore, this podcast is not suitable for children, unless they're really fucking cool children. Yes, people, Dave Fensom here with another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. Thank you as always to everyone who's been in contact with us regarding our previous episode, Nirvana. I kind of lightheartedly make a bit of a point about that in the intro, so I won't say too much about it. We are here with our Pet Shop Boys episode on the album Very. I hope you enjoy our journey through it. We do say in this podcast that we were going to be in Edinburgh next week, 22nd of August 2022. We still are, but we're not going to be at the Rage Against the Machine gig now because they've cancelled. Fuck it, I'm so gutted. Very, very sad. But if anyone is in Edinburgh and wants to hook up, then, give us a shout. You can get in contact via our social medias or email or whatever it is. All the stuff's at the back of the episode. If you feel like you want to get together and say hello to Crystal or I, we're very, very friendly for the most part, unless you're a member of the Christian with a grudge, in which case please don't bother. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys, and we will see you back here as soon as we possibly can. Take it easy. Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. My name is Dave Fensom.
Hi, I'm Krista Greer.
And we're here with another episode for you. Thank you so much for everyone that got in contact with us about our Nirvana episode. Inspired quite a lot of conversation. There are people out there, it appears, that don't like in utero.
Yeah, there was a couple of those turned up, which is absolutely fine.
It's not.
Wasn't expected.
It's
but,
fucking not fine.
It's weird.
I'm not having it.
It's weird.
Look, man, there's people out there going that Bleach is a better record, and that is just some elitist fucking bullshit. What that is they got popular. No, look, man, I love a ridiculously kind of pared down amateur band showing their potential. I love that, right? But what's the point of fucking showing the potential you got if you don't like the album that it then shows the potential of? Anyway, that's my little rant.
That's a bit okay. Nirvana rant done.
Anyway, so we're here to talk about something quite different this week.
It is very, very different. Yeah, as we're moving through 1993, we have got to October in 93 at this point, and we're looking at 1 week when the Pet Shop Boys were number one with their album Very.
Yes, indeed we are. Wow, Pet Shop Boys. I guess this kind of ties in with what's been going on in my life a little bit this week, because obviously Pet Shop Boys are a former Brighton Hove Pride headliner.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
It was Pride this weekend.
It was just gone. Yeah, we're recording this in like the second week of August.
Yeah.
So yes, it was Pride weekend all last weekend.
Yeah, so obviously the club that I kind of run with Stephen Grant, the Forge in Brighton, we operate out of a venue called Ironworks Studios, and that is the home of Brighton Pride. The venue was set up by Brighton and Hove Pride, and we work quite closely with the people that set it up. So I'm quite lucky that I was invited along as a guest to Pride on Saturday, and got to spend the entire day hanging out. And I was given a voucher book when I arrived.
Okay.
Which had a free lunch in the VIP area, which was very nice.
I was wondering what the vouchers were going to be for, but okay, that makes more sense.
And 6 glasses of champagne.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then I had 2 for 2 other members of my team who weren't drinking.
Oh, so you had to cover for that.
So I had 18 free glasses of champagne. I didn't drink all of them. I drank most of them,
right?
Basically it was kind of day of two halves, because I was there with my little girl and my wife for the first half of the day. We wandered around and saw all the colours and checked everything out, and
big parades,
lots of fun. And then my wife took my daughter home, put her to bed, and came back. I spent that time drinking champagne.
Lots of champagne.
I mean, it wasn't champagne. It was like fucking Chardonnay through a soda stream.
Right,
it was free.
It was free.
And
that's
cold
the main thing.
And nice. So I was quite drunk, and then we kind of just got together and watched Christina Aguilera together.
Wow.
And it was fucking great.
Was it good? Yeah,
it was really good, man. I mean, look, I was viewing it through rosé tinted spectacles. Let's put it that way, right? But I had a banger of a time. Like, you
Right.
forget how many hits Christina's got.
And I'm assuming as well, she just did the hit. She wasn't going, and here's like some new stuff, and here's
Well, there was kind of
like
there was
18 cover versions of some
there was
songs
like a
you'll never heard.
duet with some guy that's part of her team, a guy
Right.
called Nelson, I think his name was, and that was really lovely and beautiful and very, very nice. But
Right.
yeah, came out to dirty. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, straight away.
Came out to dirty, finished on Fighter. It was, I mean, it was just big kind of
That's
wailing
wonderful.
overdubs, just beats. The drummer, man, oh my God, the drummer was giving
That was
us
full live band.
Oh yeah, the drummer was
Sweet.
great, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was full production, super camp, big kind of
Sure.
shiny.
Everyone loving it, I'm sure.
Absolutely,
Field
mate.
full of people, right?
Absolutely.
Oh,
So yeah,
sweet.
wonderful time, mate. Had a very good time. Thank you very much to everyone at Pride for having us along as
No,
our
fair
guests. And yeah,
Okay, here's a question. Tie back into that because when was it that Pet Shop Boys did Pride? Was it like 2-3 years ago?
something like that. Yeah.
It wasn't long ago,
No.
but it was obviously we had the year or two off. If you had the same sort of access and tickets and free stuff,
Yeah.
would you have gone and seen the Pet Shop Boys?
100%. Yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess this is a good. We always talk about where we are with a band.
Indeed.
I've never been, like, buying the album on day of release, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the Pet Shop Boys have got a fantastic greatest hits set. I've got a
Yeah,
wonderful body.
Give me some of the big favourites of yours.
Yeah, West End Girls.
Yeah.
Mate, my fucking brain has gone completely blank now you've asked
Oh,
me that.
it's a sin.
Yeah,
It's a sin.
What
It's
a
incredible.
tune! It's a sin. Is
Suburbia, you know?
Suburbia. Track with Justin Springfield in it.
What
have I done to deserve this?
Brilliant.
You know the famous old story, don't you?
Oh, well, tell it again for the new listeners.
Have we told this on the thing before?
We did on the
fucking hell,
U2
mate.
one.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm not telling it again then. Fuck.
All
it.
right.
Right. If you want to hear a shit joke, go back and listen to the U2 episode. If you want to hear loads of shit jokes, listen to any one
Any
of our
episode,
episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy their big tunes, man.
Oh, of course. All right, but the ones we've talked about, the ones we've said there are, I mean, in West End Girls, 86 when that came out, so the first big hit. And then we've talked about ones through to kind of 89, I guess, that sort of time. I still, I think Domino Dancing was 89. I still really liked that up to about that point, but I wasn't following them much further than that, I must admit.
No,
were you doing any? Were you keeping up with them in the early 90s?
Not really, no. I mean,
Okay.
it was somewhere else. But I mean, the video for Go West with the kind of the big twirly hats,
Yeah.
and I mean that was all over MTV.
Right,
And I was
okay.
watching a bit of MTV at that time, so I was kind of aware of it. I was like, "Oh, right, this is what you guys are doing. You've gone big in this department, you know."
Sure.
And obviously, the next thing we'll talk about is the record cover, and the record cover was very visible in record shops.
Oh,
I
yes,
remember
it was. But I mean, even like the previous album, because this is 1993, like what we said. The previous one was Behaviour, which was 1990 itself, and I hadn't heard that album.
What's on it? Can you...
Well, the singles were Being Boring, So Hard. Maybe How Can You Expect to Be Taken Seriously might have been a single, but it seemed to be, and also the reviews reflect this, seems to be a case that this wasn't a particularly well received album in general. It wasn't one of the big ones, and I guess if that is the case, then that would be why I don't really remember those singles very well, because they aren't the big kind of weird darker ones that they were coming out through it with, and
Yeah.
so I was losing interest at that point.
Certainly, if you asked me what decade, like what do you associate with Pet Shop Boys,
Yeah.
I would associate them more with being an 80s band.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm well aware that if you're a massive Pet Shop Boys fan, you'll be like, but they're still putting out albums to this day. They've put out 20 albums in the last 20
No,
years.
mate,
and
they do seem to just keep on going.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But I think they were kind of groundbreaking in their day, and they had this kind of coolness and this archness to them. They felt like they kind of had something going on that nobody else did. It felt like nobody else, didn't it?
Absolutely, and that was great. But then by the time the 90s came around, they were releasing stuff, and the most listened to song on Spotify is that version of Where the Streets Have No Name and Can't Take My Eyes Off You, which I remember coming out and I thought, this is a bit shit.
Yeah, that wasn't for me.
No, and so I guess I almost, you could say, deliberately went, all right, I'm going to leave Pet Shop Boys then, because this is apparently what they're up to now, and I can't be arsed. And there's enough other stuff I can be listening to that I really enjoy. I'm not going to bother keeping up.
Sure, but I think they developed an audience, and they had, I think they were actually in many ways quite savvy, because I think they had a very, very mainstream audience, and I think they probably had enough about them that they knew that wasn't going to be where they would stay forever.
Right, I see.
They weren't going to be, U2, for example.
Sure.
But what they could do is consolidate down into their fan base, kind of play to the fan base,
true.
and be legends and carry on.
No, that's
forever.
true. I suppose, they're probably more of a cult band now, even though they're still, in their past, they've been million selling, which isn't necessarily what you think of when you think of a cult band. But they are the hardcore fan base and not necessarily making ripples anywhere else.
Yeah.
And this album as well, this was apparently, this was their first number one album, and it's their most commercially successful one out of even what they've done since. So, you could say commercially they peaked at this point, just in terms of sales and recognition. Whether or not they peaked previously in terms of music, it remains to be seen, or if in terms of fan base, they probably grew more and more afterwards. But this is the one that sold the most, and it got them to number one in like other places, Sweden, Switzerland, Germany, all those places. Got to number one there. And so this was a pinnacle for them to date.
Sure.
This was them still on the rise.
Yeah, this is the point they're at where they've got a loyal fan base that will go, oh, they've got something coming out, I need to get it.
Sure, yeah.
And, this is a 1 week number one, right?
It is 1 week, yeah. Meatloaf went back to number one for a week after this, obviously, because he's just taking over the charts at this point. So they went straight in and straight back out.
Fantastic. Anyway, right, so shall we crack on with this? Oh, no, we need to look at the album cover
So the album
first.
cover, indeed. So you were saying it was something a little bit different.
If you wanted to describe it with 2 words, orange and knobbly. That's basically it, isn't it?
Orange knobs.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a Lego brick.
Indeed, it was
texture,
described as like the Lego cover, wasn't it? Because it was not 3D is the wrong word because they're all 3D CDs.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't in a jewel case. It was more like a kind of a sculptured thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it had a texture to the front. A standard CD is a flat texture. This had a kind of a, I don't know, like someone's shopping list in Braille on the front of it. I don't know. That's probably very ableist, and I'm probably going to get letters. But,
well, there you go. In Braille.
Doubt that.
No.
Anyway, it was like a textural thing and kind of an orange rubber. And it looked pretty cool on the shelves. I don't remember seeing a vinyl of it, but
couldn't tell you.
Kind of a pop arty artifact,
It's pop art
isn't
thing.
it?
But yeah, it's fine. And I'm guessing that it got extra press and extra PR because of the kind of the weirdness of the textured case.
And I always quite liked when you saw something in a record shop and you had to go, oh, what's that?
Sure.
And then I loved it when it was something that was cool, and I was always really like, oh, it's just that.
Oh,
it was
bollocks.
Fucking hell, it's that.
Oh, a picture disc of it's fucking Bruce Dickinson's solo project. Yeah. Whatever.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, right. So first track on this album is called "Can You Forgive Her?"
Right, and this was their first single as well.
Because straight away this sounds kind of classic Pet Shop Boys to me. Big drama.
Yeah, big crashing stabs coming in. And this got to number 7 in the charts, so top 10 hit for them in June of '93.
There we go, like that. Nice. Yeah, so then we get Neil Tennant's kind of very nonchalant vocal come in. He's quite famous for it. It's a distinctive thing that he does.
Oh yeah, you can spot Neil Tennant a mile off.
And then got this nice little bit where he changes from the just the rhythmic thing, and he puts a nice little bit of melody on this bridge.
Okay, sure.
And then kind of lilting chorus, orchestral crashes, bang in the middle of it.
Right, yep.
Yeah, this ticks all those Pet Shop Boys boxes for me.
Do you remember this from the time at all?
I do remember this, yeah. And
okay.
I remember not minding this one.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of cracks on, and then it kind of gets to the second time around it, and it's like, ask yourself, can you forgive her?
Yeah.
And it's just got that really lovely little line with, or do you want revenge? Yeah. And it's like, come
there's
on.
an undercurrent.
Like deliciously arched. It's like a kind of poison barb that all of the best Pet Shop Boys stuff's kind of got hanging about somewhere.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I must admit, I kind of like the verses on this. I think that it is a bit more menacing and downbeat and those sorts of things. I'm not so much of a fan of this chorus.
Oh, I like this chorus.
You see, whenever it comes into this, like you said, a bit more uplifting, I was like, nah, this is a bit more bland to me.
See, for me, what I like is, I think the best Pet Shop Boys stuff is where you get that juxtaposition between the music that's doing something quite lifting and him doing the kind of the downbeat kind of thing. And when it works well, it's really good. And when it doesn't work well, it is not.
Okay, right.
But I like this one, man. I feel like it's missing a killer breakdown, right? To be like a kind of classic tune. I would say this is a 3.5, 4 out of 5 Pet Shop Boys song.
Okay, yeah. I would go 5 out of 10. I think this is average. I think this is fine. I don't mind it. As I listened to this more times in preparation for this, I got more used to it and liked it more. It started off, I was like, oh, this is a shame. They used to be much better than this. But this is okay.
Oh, no, so I think I like this one a lot more than you do then.
Okay, then.
Because I think this is solid. I think this is definitely earns a place on a greatest hits album.
Okay, yeah.
I'd put this in there. You mentioned kind of Domino Dance, and I'd prefer this to something like Domino Dance.
Okay, right.
So I think this is a good song, and I was like, okay, if it's all like this, I'm gonna have a fucking pretty good time.
And lyrically, this is about a man who is in like a heterosexual relationship, but is either he's harbouring some latent homosexual desires, or he's remembering some experimenting he did in his youth, whatever it is, and his partner is taking the piss out for him and giving him massive grief. And so the "can you forgive her" is, can you reconcile that? Or will it be okay if she says she's sorry? Can you get back to where you were and loving her? Nice. Or is it done? Are your feelings and the way she's treading on your feelings, does that mean it's over? So it's an interesting kind of story. Yeah,
it's got a bit of a backstory to it. Incidentally, guys, if there are any beat makers or song makers on here that listen to the podcast, like experiment and dabble in a bit of dance music, if anyone would like to sample Krista saying latent homosexual tendencies and turn that into a track for us, I think that would probably be one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
Thanks for highlighting that.
Yeah. I just want to hear you say latent homosexual tendencies.
It's going to be your new message alert on your phone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think it should be your mission statement.
No, just on my business cards. You're talking about the video as well. You mentioned the video for Go West. I watched the video for all of the singles because they had obviously decent budget videos for all of them. And this was the first one, and it's very, very 90s CGI.
Oh, really?
They were all directed by a guy called Howard Greenhalgh. I'm not sure how it's pronounced.
There we go.
But he directed them all, and they are all very much of a look. It's CGI, but CGI in a way you go, oh God, do you remember whenever that was the best we could do?
Was it like Lawnmower Man?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's really piss poor at the minute.
The problem of being on the cutting edge of stuff is sometimes you look back and you go, oh, that's
oh God, oh no, exactly. If you're using actual special effects, like in camera special effects, you go, oh, that still looks good. But the minute you start using some sort of computer generated thing, you go, oh well, tomorrow that's going to look terrible. And it's kind of that sort of thing. If you think of the Simpsons episode where Homer Simpson falls through some sort of weird warp and ends up 3D, it looks like that. That's what this video looks like, except it doesn't have the erotic cake shop at the end, which was my favourite bit of that.
Erotic cake shop. If you want to stick that in as another line. There we go. We are building quite the repertoire here. I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, so, I think I'm a bit warmer on this than you are.
Yeah, I think it's all right, but no, I don't think it's particularly good.
I like it.
Fine.
As I say. So there we go. All right, well, let's move on. Number track. This is called I Wouldn't Normally Do This Kind of Thing.
This kind of thing.
Okay, so this is a very bright, stompy disco electro beat.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Pop. I really don't like that immediately at all.
No.
It's very generic.
Well, the from reading around this album, it sounds like a lot of people were like, okay, since the last album didn't do so well, they almost like changed their sound a bit to try and catch up more. Or maybe look forward to try and mark a different path, and they've they've hooked on this very early 90s piano, cheesy thing. And that's not a nice sound.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
No.
I'm going to say that the vocal phrasing, I wouldn't normally do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's something about that I particularly like.
I like the chorus. Yeah.
I really like that line sung, and I don't think there's anything else about this song that I like.
Right. No, I think it's very lightweight. I think the keyboard sounds bad. I think it sounds like a cheap Casio.
Bad. Yeah.
I've got a note that to me this sounds like the sort of song that, if you were watching French and Saunders and they were doing a piss take of the Pet Shop Boys, this is the sort of song that they would come up with. It just sounds cheap and not real.
I think if you put a slight accent on Neil Tennant's voice, this is like two lads that have grown up in the backwaters of Iceland, loving the Pet Shop Boys, and have got their big break on Eurovision.
I see.
Like that's what I'm hearing, man.
Right.
The dance breakdown in this has got this really weird popcorn effect in it, like almost like the song Popcorn, but like 10, 15 years too late. It's really uninspired, and it's a lot of bad choices put together.
Yeah. No, I agree. The chorus, that like you said, his bit where he wouldn't normally do that kind of thing. That's a nice little breakdown. It goes minor key. But yeah, this bit, what the fuck's happening here? This is particularly obnoous.
It's like the Crazy Frog.
Oh, God. Jesus. Now you've said it. The weird thing is, there was a mix by the Beatmasters, which apparently was used as the single version. Because when I was watching the video, that's the version they use, right?
God, I've not thought about the Beatmasters for years.
Oh,
they were everywhere, weren't
they were on every single DMC thing as well. They were put right. But if you listen to this, it's like immediately sounds much better. So this is the single version. So you don't have that plinky piano to start with.
Sounds like the Cult.
No, cool.
Yeah.
And so, okay, it breaks into a bit more cheese, but it doesn't have that grating piano sound.
Hey, great cheese.
That the original does.
Yeah, I mean, it is definitely better.
It's definitely better. Apparently, even the Pet Shop Boys, they preferred a lot of bits of this whenever they heard it, which is why they put it out as a single version. And I think maybe they use some bits of it whenever they do live versions as well, that sort of thing. But there must have been, surely there must have been a bit where they listened to this and went, should have done that.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done.
Or maybe they just listened to the original and went, oh, we shouldn't have done that.
Well, yeah, but it's too late now. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So, no, rubbish, this.
No.
I don't like it. This was a single.
That was that was the third single. Got to number 13. So, not massive, but it was the third single. There's another video for this, obviously, and again, it is CGI all over the place. It looks like the kind of the opening sequence of Dance Energy or The Word or something like that. It's one of those sorts of things. It's not good at all.
Okay, let's waste no further time
Fine.
with it. Next one's called Liberation.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
So we're in a kind of like
Jesus,
Spanish Cafe Del Mar breakbeat kind of thing. This feels quite sunny, I suppose.
Feels like wine bar to me.
I don't like it. It's very happy sound, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with you.
This was a single as well. This was the fourth single.
And then, it's all very bright and very, very bright like this.
Yeah.
And then, Neil Tennant's vocal sounds like a Wet Thursday and Hounslow, doesn't it? It's he's broken the whole rest of it. This is an example, again, of where that juxtaposition just doesn't work and it throws it off. But this kind of meanders a bit along and does very little.
Yeah.
And subsequently, I would say, does very little for me.
Oh, yeah.
Lyrically, it's like an oblique love song. It's got nothing particularly remarkable to say.
It's drab nonsense.
This is
just
isn't it?
Bullshit. Yeah, I think it's just terrible.
Yeah.
I don't understand. This sounds like nothing else I've heard the Pet Shop Boys ever do as well. Maybe some of the Dusty Springfield stuff is that more in that vein, but I do not understand what's going on. It feels
like a fucking demo, man.
Yeah.
It feels like a demo. Like if you told me that this was a B-sides album,
Oh, right,
I would be like, oh, okay, I guess I can see that, and some of these things turn into other bits or whatever. But yeah, I mean, how this gets through your quality control for your major release,
Shocking.
I don't know, and I don't even think it's a matter of that it's just dated, because I feel like a song's a song, and this
at no point. It's not like this would have been okay in 93, I'm sure. I can't imagine anyone else putting this out and us going, oh no, it was fine whenever they did it then.
Yeah.
No, I don't get this at all. There are bits in it.
If you love, sorry, carry on.
I was going to say there are bits in the song somewhere along the way where I'm reminded of Suburbia. And it just makes me go, oh, I really like Suburbia. Oh, it's a shame this isn't Suburbia.
Suburbia is fucking great. But yeah.
No, I think it's all sorts of terrible. This is.
If you do love this song, if you dearly love this song, I mean, you might be out there. I'm not sure if you are, you listen to this, but let us know and tell me why. But I mean, I don't get it at all. I do not get that one. It's it's really, really off the chart of how you go from the kind of output that you had to thinking that that's okay to be,
honestly,
not just be an album track, but to be a single.
Single number 4. I mean, it only got to number 14, so it's the lowest charting of the singles of this album.
But
still 14.
14, man.
No,
fucking
still top 20. So.
Let's remember that, like, Censor didn't make the top 70
fucking
or whatever.
Right, mate. The video for this, right, is probably the worst one of the lot.
Okay.
It's like a Windows screensaver.
Really?
Fucking dreadful. It's worth a watch to see what was considered cutting edge, that sort of stuff.
Fractals.
It honestly is, but and this is also one where the two of the Pet Shop Boys don't really appear at all. Their faces on some kind of orbs singing that sort of stuff, but they're not in the video themselves. But at the time, right, a music journalist called James Masterson, who wrote a kind of a column every week about the pop charts, he wrote about the video, what gives it an extra boost is the innovating virtual reality video currently touring the country in a roadshow whereby punters can climb into a booth and experience the state-of-the-art computer graphics at first hand.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Imagine this was considered good enough that someone apparently took a booth around the country that you could go and be inside this fucking screensaver.
Record companies would throw money at any old shit.
Unbelievable. It must have been a matter of weeks before anybody who knew anything was like, never do that again, because we're getting laughed at. Shockingly bad.
But the thing is, if you hadn't seen it, it was probably all right.
Maybe so.
I mean, I remember seeing Lawnmower Man and going, oh, the film wasn't very good, but it looked amazing.
Oh, mate, I remember the video for Dire Straits Money for Nothing going, damn, they can do that now, can't they?
Can't believe it.
Was that Def Leppard one?
Yeah, no,
Let's Get Rocked.
I thought that looked shit at the time, man.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was ruined by the song. But, I suppose the rock's out of the question. Anyway,
there's a remix of this as well, right? By E Smooth.
E Smooth.
And I listened to it. I was like, oh, I'll have listened to this remix. And it appears to be one of those ones where I suspect they contacted E Smooth and went, can you remix this song? E Smooth, whoever this person is, went, yeah, no worries. Essentially got an old demo of his own, took no bits of the original song, and just sang Liberation over the top of it. It's one of those where, like, there's nothing in here at all.
The old Aphex Twin.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that's not in the song. That's not in the Pet Shop Boys version.
No.
And then he puts a bit of a rap in. I'll just skip.
Oh, wait, he got the bloke from 2 Unlimited, didn't he?
I know, it does sound like it, doesn't it? Yeah, no idea what this has got to do with the original.
I mean, how did they pay for this?
Fuck no.
If you were a record company and this came through, you'd just be like, what?
Yeah, I know. There you go. So that's the
I used the stems.
Yeah, quite. Did you know? Yeah, bizarre. But no, I think that's pretty shit. I think that's a bad song, and I think it sounds like I wouldn't have liked it at the time either had I heard it.
I think it's just a bad song is a bad song.
Well, there you are. Yeah.
So track 4, I haven't written down what this one's called for some reason.
A different point of view.
A different point of view.
I mean, this starts like Uber Camp Euro Disco Dancing Queen to me.
I mean, I've just put here, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of quality control in these beats.
I wonder if there was that thing because they were such a big band. If no one at the record company was going, chaps, now come on, don't do this one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This feels like another impression of the Pet Shop Boys, and like the chorus has got some of the trademarks, but it's just, I don't know. It's not. It's like you're watching 3D without the 3D glasses on. You know, it's just everything's a bit out of focus and fine.
Horrible keyboard sounds in this.
Yeah, I mean, mate, when you get to the bridge of this song,
oh god, let's skip to that because that is bad. Let me just find that.
It's like what is it like? My first sampler sounds.
It I had a keyboard back in, I don't know, early 80s, which had a preset of a dog barking on it, and if you pitched it up, you know, if you went onto the higher keys, it didn't sound like a dog barking anymore. It sounded kind of like this. The hell's going on?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
It's like, come on, man, you're pioneers of electronic music,
and you've just got this shit.
This is. It feels like you don't give a fuck.
And then this weird breakdown. This.
Yeah. It's. I don't know, man. I mean, the lyrics are so clunky as well. That lyric was just on there, which is, "You've got a clever way of haunting me. Never scared, you're still daunting me."
I've got a note with that as well because it's so terrible.
It's just like, mate, really, it's on the nose.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always liked the cleverness and the wordplay, you know. Yeah. And Neil Tennant's a funny fucking guy, man. You ever read any of the stuff he wrote because he was the editor of Smash Hits for a long time? Yeah. Funny dude, man. Like, and always enjoyed what he had to say. Always funny in interviews. Just seemed like someone that had something going on. And it's like you're putting this stuff down. It's like, well, do you really give a shit?
Yeah, but in spite of being treated this way, I still dream of you all night and day. Come on, mate.
You can do better.
Exactly, you can do better. You've done better in the past. I get the impression that some of this is just, oh, will this do? You know, is this all right? Can we just get away with this?
Are they on the same page with each other? I don't know. Who knows? But
I also said that at some points this sounds like Cunt and the Gang to me. At least they were taking the piss.
Fucking brilliant. So look. So with four tracks, I like the first one. I don't like the next three.
No, I'm just disappointed because hopefully, like we always say, we go into these hoping it's going to be good. I'm sure you're in the same position. You were like, all right, I haven't heard this album, but I like a load of Pet Shop Boys songs. There's going to be some stuff on here I'll be really pleased about. I haven't hit it yet.
Yeah,
the first one is okay, but you like it more than I do. I think there's been a couple of very bad songs and a couple of okay ones. So we haven't hit a good bit for me yet, anyway.
Okay, well, look, let's take a little wander through the albums that were released this week.
All right. So the top 10, the week of October 3rd to the 9th in 1993. There's a lot of best ofs in here, I'm going to be honest with you. Number 10 is the Beatles' Blue album, best of, which I'm guessing they were just re-released a lot of Beatles stuff at that point. I'm not sure why.
I'd have to say.
The best of the Beatles. Number 9 is Prince with the Hits one, which we talked about in our last one. Number 8 is then the Beatles' The Red album, which is the earlier stuff. Number 7 is Nirvana's In Utero. And so it's still top 10. It's gone down, but it's still top 10. Number 6, Mike Oldfield best of called Elements.
Yeah.
No, whatever. Number 5 is Prince with the Hits 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get into some new ones. So number 4 is Beverly Craven with Love Scenes, the new entry.
Just literally the very epicenter of music that I didn't give a fuck about.
I didn't at the time. I actively disliked that single, but now, promise me, the single, I actually think it's dead good.
Do you?
Yeah,
I have not reevaluated it. I don't remember how it goes.
Cheesy as fuck. Is it? You'd know it instantly. Obviously, come on. But I think it's very nice. Number 3, another new entry, and I'm disappointed that we didn't have to do this one. James with Laid. Which is a fucking wonderful album. Love it. I didn't get into it at the time. It was a couple of years after that I was played it, and I was like, oh, Jesus, this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I wish we'd had to do this because there's so many good songs on that.
So this is that the second James album?
Oh, no, I mean, they have.
Oh, no, they had.
In the 80s.
But the second, was it the sophomore album after the one with Sit Down on it?
No. Goldmother was re-released with Sit Down on it in 1990. Then they released 7 in 91, I think.
Which I think we mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is the next one. So yeah, this is, I don't know, it's probably like their 6th or 7th album, but it's the 2 after Goldmother anyway. But it's the one with Laid and Sometimes. Just so many brilliant songs. Cool. Brilliant stuff. Number 2 then is Meatloaf's Back Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell, which, like I said, goes back to number 1 after this week.
Yeah.
That's where we are in the
Back
top
out
10.
of hell.
And then, so there's a couple that which we'll talk about that were also released in this week. Buffalo Tom released Big Red Letter Day, which got to number 17, which is it's a nice album. I think very much that they are another singles band for me. Even though they would presumably have hardcore fans who are like, no, these albums are brilliant.
Do you know, I don't think I could tell you a Buffalo Tom song.
It wouldn't be your thing.
They're one of those bands that I read about when I picked up the Enemy, and they were there, but they were not on the edge of the stuff that I was interested in.
No, and they weren't putting out big indie singles either that would have got played in the clubs. Some of them, I think, probably should have been, but no, they weren't putting those out, so it wouldn't have crossed over in that way. One that you might have encountered, though, Duff McKagan released Believe in Me.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Got to number 27.
I mean, it was terrible.
Was it awful?
Oh, it's bad, yeah.
Was it as bad as... Well, did you go... If you had been a big Guns N' Roses fan, which you were, did you think that a Duff McKagan solo album might be good? Were there anyone with high hopes?
Not really. Nah. I mean, I always quite enjoyed when they'd let him sing a song. Like attitude. What you got a fucking attitude?
They're really controversial.
But it was, but it was coming from, it was always coming from that kind of very Ramones inspired, kind of punky element.
Yeah, sure.
And at the time, that was not what I was really interested in Guns N' Roses. I liked the kind of the more, I guess, the kind of the big guitar solos, the screechy kind of heavier bits, and I kind of came to appreciate a lot of the stuff that Duff was inspired by a little bit later down the line, not much later, but there was still a delivery in it that was not really for me. But but Duff very well revered amongst the punk scene in Seattle, and he was the guy in Guns N' Roses that all of the Seattle guys liked.
Oh, I see, right.
You ever read his autobiography?
Probably, because I think I've read about 3 GNR.
Yeah, it was a good. He was an interesting dude, man. Right. Obviously, he was fucked up on everything.
Yeah, well, they all were.
Yeah. But,
also, number 37, De La Soul released Bullhound Mind State.
Yeah.
Which I remember getting, or maybe I didn't even get it. Maybe I taped it off someone. I'm being a bit disappointed.
See, we talked about this, but I've got a weird relationship with De La Soul. I kind of. I've heard bits of it at different times. Like I had 3 Feet High and Rising. I had a copy of, like a burnt CD copy of De La Soul is Dead. And I think I probably had Balloon Mind State somewhere at some point, but I've no real kind of memory of it. Stakes is High, I kind of remembered, and then they started doing that part 1 and 2 albums, names I can't even remember.
No, couldn't tell you.
And I like De La Soul, and I'd go and see De La Soul live, but there are people that probably know their work a lot more than I do.
I remember going, all right, this is what they're doing these days, and it was a bit more serious and a bit less fun, and a bit less party. It's like, well, fine, you do that, but I'm not interested. One that I didn't even listen to, and I still haven't heard. Digital Underground released The Body Hat Syndrome. Couldn't tell you.
No, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Not a notion.
But we are very much on the washout period of those like kind of 88 to 89 like hip hop crews. A lot of them that had done like just kind of hadn't gone with the times. Their stuff just didn't date well.
No.
Hip hop was moving so quickly. I mean, and in so many ways it still does. I've just got my time period that I'm particularly tied to, I guess. Not that I don't like modern hip hop. I think there's bits and pieces in there that I like, but it's just not really. It's very different.
Oh, totally.
To what it was, and I understand some of it, and I don't understand other bits.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's like, mate, if you're putting out records for like a 46-year-old man, and you're in your late teens or early 20s, then you've probably got some questions to answer.
True. Just speaking of hip hop, we had talked about. I wasn't going to be able to go anyway, but there was going to be the Rakim show in Brighton. It was coming up, which he's just cancelled. I don't know if you've seen that. Yeah, cancelled today because the reason he's given is because he said that some people in his crew have recently had COVID or are scared of getting it. But essentially, it's because he's too scared to get on a plane. He won't fly anywhere,
right?
And so he was going to have to come over on a cruise ship.
Right.
And those are hotbeds for COVID.
Yes.
And so he's like, well, I can't chance it. I can't go into this fucking petri dish of horrendousness because I won't fly. So that's why it's been cancelled.
Fair enough, man.
Yeah. Right, Swerve Driver released Mezcal Head, only got to number 55. And I had some friends who were into Swerve Driver more than I was.
Swerve Driver was a skate video band. I'd heard bits and pieces that were on skate videos.
Yeah.
There's probably songs I could hear and then be like, who's this Swerve Driver? Never had any Swerve Driver records.
For sure. Mazzy Star released So Tonight That I May See. I got to number 68. And again, they were definitely one of the ones I was reading about a lot in Melody Maker Enemy because they were like, oh, these great new American hopefuls. I know probably 2 songs by Mazzy Star.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible I would like a lot more if I heard them, but I was never incensed enough to go and find out more, and I'm okay with that.
I think it just sounded too much like Maxi Priest.
Well, yeah, they all do at this point. Then we've got things like The Wonder Stuff, released Construction for the Modern Idiot. That got to number 4.
They were big at that point.
They were big. Teenage Fan Club, released 13, which I've talked about many times already. The other big one that was released in this time period only got to number 58, but Afghan Wigs released Gentlemen.
Oh, nice.
Which... that was the first I knew of Afghan Wigs. And again, I bought the album on the strength of one of the singles that, I only bought the single because it got like Single of the Week in Enemy or some shit like that. And it's a fantastic album. Really good. I must admit that I then kind of went into decreasing interest on Afghan Wigs. I thought the next album after that was all right. And then it's like, okay, well, whatever afterwards. But I think Gentleman is a great album.
You ever heard their cover of Congregation from Jesus Christ Superstar?
I don't think I have, no.
It's fucking glorious.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's so good.
Right. They played Brighton again recently. They did it like last week or the week before.
Yeah, do you know the thing is, I suspect that Afghan Wigs are one of those bands that, like, right now I could probably just go pick an album a week and just sit and go through it and probably really kind of...
Get something from it.
You know, there's a lot in that back catalogue that I've not heard or not listened to.
Yeah, of course.
And I suspected there's a lot of it that I'd really like.
Well... Who knows? Well, there you go. That was my first introduction to them anyway, was back in 1993 when this one came out. And I still enjoy it. Still very good. Well, that's your albums for this week.
Cool. I'm going to get a beer. Right, well, let's crack on with this one then. So this is track 5. This is called Dreaming of the Queen.
Dreaming of the Queen.
This is a weird one, isn't it?
I mean, my first thing is, what the fuck is happening?
Well, yeah, it's like, it's got the M People bass.
Yeah. I don't understand what's going on.
It's got kind of the low-key strings. It's quite dark. And then it's got some very fucking silly lyrics about him dreaming about seeing the Queen.
Yeah.
And hanging out with her and Princess Di.
That, yeah.
I mean, this is stupid and weird, but because it's stupid and weird, I kind of like it more.
Really? Oh, I see.
But
okay.
I'm still bored by the end of it.
Well, it's the longest song on the album so far.
Oh yeah, and it feels like it as well.
That's one of the things that at least, stuff like I normally wouldn't do this kind of thing. It was 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
It was in and out and it's gone. It's about actually meeting the Queen. So it's a dream.
Yeah, he's having a dream.
I don't understand. I went into this thinking it's going to be a metaphor.
Yeah.
And maybe it is, but it's still him talking about a dream where he's meeting the Queen.
Yeah.
And right, just for the listeners who probably aren't ever going to listen to this song properly, and we're talking all over the lyrics, let's just do these lyrics, okay? So, dreaming of the Queen visiting for tea. You and her and I and Lady Di. The Queen said, I'm aghast. Love never seems to last, however hard you try. And Di replied, there are no more lovers left alive. No one has survived.
So,
gee, what's going on?
When did Princess Diana die?
97.
Okay, so well, there you go.
Yeah.
Prescient.
The fuck is this?
That I don't know, and I'm not giving it. And
Unbelievable.
I've got a lot going on in my life. I haven't got the fucking headspace for this.
I don't get this. I mean, perhaps. And again, I don't know if I came to this as let's say I was 30 years old and gay in 1993, would I be listening to this and going, oh, this is so clever, or this is very arch and what larks? I don't know, but for myself, come to this 30 years on, this is fucking dreadful.
Look, I'm going to level you, Krista.
Yeah.
I heard this song and I read through the lyrics and I started trying to decipher them.
Yeah.
And then just something in the back of my head went, every day for the last 2 weeks, your daughter has come in your bedroom at 6 a.m. And has refused to do anything other than listen to Peppa Pig stories.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
nice.
Every morning has been haunted by fucking nonsense about a fucking cunt pig.
Yeah.
And I think it's eroded the part of my brain that would have thought about this.
I see.
So yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
so you-
it might be the end of the podcast
Peppa Pig ruined our show.
and everything.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just skip to the next one then. Track number 6.
Yesterday when I was mad.
I mean, again, that's a bad song title.
Yes, it really is.
And this reminds me of like Dubstar or St. Etienne, I guess, at the time. That's what it is.
I was kind of put this one's a bit more gonzo. It's like I've kind of put it's kind of high camp electric circus feel.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's at least got some personality. It's got the weird hard
Going
dance.
for it here. Bizarre.
Yeah.
It sounds like something by Two Unlimited again.
So look, I mean, lyrically, I quite like this vocal delivery, and it's a beautiful invective about double-edged artistic criticism.
Yes, it is.
It's about those kind of arch comments that people make to you, the barbed comments of, and I've had it doing comedy, I know it. I know this shit. It's like.
Yeah.
And it's normally from someone that's got a bit of jealousy in there or something along those lines.
Right, sure.
And so I quite like the vocal, and I like the way it's delivered, and I like the fact it's got some personality.
Yeah.
As a song, do I like it? No.
Fine.
But at least it's fun to spend a few minutes with. It feels like at least it's in some way heartfelt.
Okay, but I mean, it's definitely heartfelt because it's speaking from his own experiences, and it's definitely personal to him. He has sat after a show and gone, "Is this fucking worth it?" Because these pricks are talking to me, and oh god, am I? Do I want to spend the rest of my days doing these shows and having to deal with idiots?
Yeah,
fair enough. There is that, but then there's always the bit afterwards. It's yesterday I was mad. Then I'm okay now. Yes, this is what I want to do. I mean, it's sort of coming to terms with it. So it is that, but yeah, to me it's a fucking strange song.
But it's also that you made me feel fucking awful. You made me feel bad about myself. I wanted to quit everything.
Yes.
Just because I didn't believe in myself. And there's that thing. There's that niggling thing.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
And yeah, I think that's an interesting and telling thing that might inform how weary some of the other shit on this record is.
Maybe so.
And
there's some good snippets like you have a certain quality which is really unique, expressionless, such irony, although your voice is weak.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's it kind of almost does. What we do here is music, criticism, and I hope we do it with love, and we're not being particularly fond of this album, that kind of thing. You go, do you know what, man? There are people at the end of it, and you don't want to make people feel bad.
Yeah, I
blah,
suppose.
blah. But at the end of the day, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
It is, unfortunately. Yeah, and we've already said that we love some of the stuff. I suppose that's what everyone else was. This is what this song is about. It is people going, "Oh, you used to be brilliant."
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, but this one isn't for me. Anyway.
No, this was the 5th and final proper single. This was a single as well.
They released 5 singles off. The 90s were wild.
Well, they released 5 singles off this album, but they also released the theme tune to Absolutely Fabulous in the middle of it. So there were 6 singles in the time period. But 5 singles off this album, off a 12-track album. And it's got a video with a lot of CGI in it. And it's really on the nose, this one. It's called Yesterday When I Was Mad. And so obviously the video for it is set in a mental hospital. And there's a lot of CGI of a man with the top of his head coming off and spinning around and his eyes bugging out and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't want to ever see this.
It's really shocking. It's terrible. But the thing is, because, I watched this all, I was like, fuck me, these are terrible. And I was like, who is this guy? Because he did all of their videos. This guy, Howard, whatever he's called. He started making music videos in like 1989. He did some for Dusty Springfield and for Electronic back at the back end of the 80s, which is presumably how the Pet Shop Boys came to know of him and got matey with him. He then also did stuff like Mea Culpa and Principles of Lust by Enigma, so thanks for that.
Cheers, mate.
They're both very CGI heavy. But then he also, the following night, so in the same year as he put out the videos for Liberation and this one, Yesterday When I Was Mad, because this didn't come out as a single until 94, in the same year, he did the video for Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden.
Oh, but that's a great video.
It is. That's a great video. I was like, mate, what? How have you gone from these awful, terrible CGI ones to slightly better CGI, but a really good concept?
I guess it depends what the brief is.
And probably the money. I imagine, who is it? A&M in America were probably throwing money at Soundgarden at that point.
I don't even know if they were, because that was the breakthrough.
Oh, that was true. That was the first one.
That was the one where they became Soundgarden.
That is true.
Anyway,
I don't know, but he's got a career of doing other like Suede, Placebo, Muse, Elton John, big video director. So fine. What do I know?
Right. Track 7. The Theatre.
The Theatre. Okay. This is the longest song on the album, so I'm hoping it's going to be deserving of its runtime.
Let's hope so.
Starts off very dramatic again. It's got a big build up, some shouting. Yeah.
So we're into a housey breakbeat.
Absolutely. Again, this is very 93 dance.
Yeah, but it's building. It's doing something.
Yeah.
It's doing ding.
Okay. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam.
And then it just all goes away, and then comes the vocal.
Honestly,
nothing.
wishy-washy bullshit vocal.
What the fuck?
Don't get it.
And then that synth just kind of waves in underneath it, like
weird.
So you listen to how low in the mix that break is.
Yeah.
It's just like barely there.
It's limp.
It's so incongruous. It feels like they're on totally different pages. It's like,
yeah. But then I do like this bit coming in.
Do you?
I do. Yeah.
I don't think I do.
Ah, right. Once this gets going, I'm like, okay, now I get it. But that initial, the massive dive off a cliff it does, I think, what the fuck? But when it gets back into it and towards the chorus, I'm like, okay, there's a bit more drama to this.
See, I really don't like this. I find this really insipid, all this whole bit here.
Oh, no, this is bullshit. Yeah. Let me see. I'll skip forward a little bit. Theatre. It's got some weird pronunciations in here as well. On here. Another world here.
Yeah, but it's deliberately doing that, isn't he? Because obviously lyrically what this is about is this is like a big jab at a Tory MP who made some shitty comment about homeless people being the people you walk over when you leave the theatre. So obviously he's doing those affectations, like, and it's actually a really great message and a really nice, kind of a nice thing to be talking about. I just think it deserves a better song.
I see. I like this chorus. I like this with it, bam, 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 when it is proper drama.
See, I just think the vocal works with it.
I see. Okay. No, I'm okay with this one.
Like the beat's too low. This one does nothing for me at all, I'm afraid.
Right. And then these are samples as well from like old acid house tunes from the late 80s. That ha ha ha, that sort of stuff. Bringing those bits in. And also, I noticed that Anne Dudley from The Art of Noise does the orchestration on this song. She's involved. She had some bit credit on the orchestra bits. But then she's also credited on a couple of other really shit ones on here that I don't like, so I'm like, whatever. Dreaming of the Queen, she does orchestra on that, and it's fucking dreadful.
I prefer Dreaming of the Queen to this.
Oh, God, no. Oh, absolutely not. Weird. Okay, no, I think when this is good, this is one of my favourite bits on the album. But when it's bad, it's insipid nonsense. Okay, well, we're split on that.
Pretty far apart on that one.
We're split on that, that's fine. Okay. Let's see how we are on the next one, which is...
1 and 1 makes 5. Okay, so it's house piano again.
Fuck me. Maybe, is this a joke? Oh, there's Right Said Fred's drum beat. That's big stabs.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, in a weird way, it kind of feels a little more familiar territory in a weird way, though.
Yeah.
See, again, I quite like this, kind of the syncopation of the vocal over this.
Do you? Oh, I think this is awful.
I find this one quite instant. Again, see, I quite like this, but to me, it's a decent album track.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the backing vocals that come in with that kind of like deep house track, nice enough. Quite like it. 1 and 1 make 5. It's a very shit refrain. Don't like that. It's a shame.
No. I mean, can we agree that Radiohead's 2 + 2 = 5 is just mathematically twice as good?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that's fine.
No, it's not even. No, it's exponentially better.
Exponentially.
But the thing I will say about this, it just takes forever to end, and it's just got this really fucking annoying vocal sample for the last 40 seconds of it.
Are you talking about the here we go, here we go, here we go, here we
Yeah.
go, that bit? Apparently, I'll just skip to it. Apparently, that is their minder. It's their bouncer. Who's a guy who was born in Brighton, and was head of one of the Arsenal hooligan firms in the 80s.
Right.
Before he became the bouncer and minder for Pet Shop Boys of the 80s, called Dainton Connell, known as The Bear. And I am assuming it's him because he's credited on backing vocals.
Yeah.
And the only backing vocals I can imagine is this weird...
Unless he's got a really big soul voice.
No, quite. That bit there. I can only assume that's him going, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Is he saying here we go? I thought he was saying pick it up.
No, here we go, here we go, here we go.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I can hear it now.
There you go. So that's who that is. But no, I think this is a fucking dreadful song again.
So I don't think it's dreadful. I think I prefer this to a lot of the other stuff we've heard. It's a bit more straightforward. But you know, I'm not fucking going to war for it.
And I suspect you're also trying to find some nice things to say. Yeah. All right. Well, look, that's 2/3 of the way through.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not impressed. So
Two
far.
turds.
2/3. Yes. Let's do the singles then.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So the top 10 in this week. Number 10. I don't think we've seen this before, and I suspect you're going to know this one. But I think they're going to set up. There you go. Just said the name of it.
It's called Stay.
Yes, it is. You remember who it is, though?
Well, I'll have it in a minute, man. Hang on. Stay with me tonight. Who the fuck?
For anyone who's listening, going, what's that sound? Dave's clicking his fingers along like an old man.
Shit, sorry, man. It's I'm trying to remember who it is though. It's gonna bug me.
It's one of the first ones you would have thought of.
Yeah, I know. It's,
no, British.
No,
they're British.
It's not Eternal.
It is Eternal.
Is it Eternal?
It's Eternal. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think Eternal were putting stuff out this.
93. It's the first I think we've maybe seen of them, but yeah, Eternal Stay. Oh, that's a big pop tune.
There you go. No, that's a great tune. I haven't heard that for years.
Yeah, same
I
as.
really like that.
It's good fun, nice. Number 9, Culture Beat, Mr. Vain. Number 8, Meatloaf's I Do Anything for Love. Number 7 is Pet Shop Boys with Go West, which we will see in a minute. Number 6, that Hadaway song, Life, which I never remember. Number 5 is a 1993 re-release of Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood. I suspect probably had a fucking dreadful dance beat underneath it.
You could imagine it would.
Really bad. Number 4, Jack and Emerson Players, She Don't Let Nobody.
Yeah.
Number 3, People.
Big up to Stephen Hill.
Oh, yeah. Stephen Hill from Riot Act. Yeah,
yeah.
We've mentioned Jack and Emerson on the last one, and he just put something on Twitter about, hey, mate, me listening to Shaq and Emerson Pliers
Gallowine or whatever.
going in my own house is nothing to do with anybody else. Fair enough, man. You do you.
Yeah, well, you'd have to do you.
Yeah.
No one else is going to do you if you'd listen to the fucking Pliers, right?
Number 3, People moving on up, which we have seen. Number
Go
2,
fuck yourself,
Jazzy
People.
Jeff and Fresh Prince, Boom Shake the Room, which we've seen already. Number 1, though, is a new entry.
Ooh. Oh, Jesus Christ. Take that, yeah.
Take that, Relight My Fire. And we can't say too much about this because we're going to have to do the whole fucking album.
Yeah, when's that?
In about 2 albums' time, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny wants to come back for that.
No, she actually was. She's going to have to get her skates on. Oh, no, in fact, it's the next one we have to do.
Oh, fuck off, really?
It's the next one. Just take that.
Shit. Well, she may or may not, depending on... it took so long to fucking organise the last one.
Yeah, true. Well, she's got the entire time that we're away in Edinburgh to prep it. She's going to be doing nothing else.
Oh, yeah, because I would imagine that me not being in the house will give her a lot more free time.
Yeah. So that's your top 10. We'll take that at number 1. Only a couple of new entries there. Other stuff that came out. Sabres of Paradise released Smoke Belch. Got the number... Smoke Belch 2.
Smoke Belch.
Got the number 55.
I do like Sabres of Paradise.
Oh, they've got some really good stuff. I think they've also got a lot of wank.
Yeah.
You know, but
Haunted Dance Floor, man.
Yeah,
Haunted Dance Hall, should I say. I love
good
that.
stuff. Another one that came out in this time, right? This is another good tune.
Nice and shoot, baby.
Indeed.
Salt and pepper.
Salt and Pepper. This got to number 29 only, apparently. I think it might have been re-released the next year or something like that, or a different mix.
Fucking so dope.
Yeah, exactly. This is a smooth tune, yeah. So yeah, number 29.
I need to see if this is on my greatest pop songs.
Oh, that's a goodie.
This needs to be on it.
Fit on there. In a similar vein, but I don't remember this one. Only got to number 36, this one, and it's not one of their big singles. But I know that you had at least one of the albums at this point. So I'm not sure if it rings a bell with you. It's slinky and kind of groovy enough that you go, oh, of course it's these people.
Like In Vogue.
Yeah, it's In Vogue.
I don't know the song, but I mean, as soon as you hear that fucking vocal harmony,
yeah, it's called Runaway Love, and I don't remember one bit.
I don't remember.
Not a clue. Right.
I'm guessing this is on the follow-up album that isn't Funky Divas.
Oh, I see. Maybe so.
Maybe
so. 93. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember whatever the sequence would have been. Right. Here's one. And again, right.
No.
Yeah, sorry, just again, for no good reason, we're going to have to mention Stephen Hill again.
Right,
because
yeah. Sorry, Stephen.
He's going to get this immediately because he's a terrible, terrible person.
Yeah.
Wait, those drums will give you a clue.
Is it Umbov?
No. It's too early for that.
Oh yeah, because it is.
Only got to number 40.
Hang on. Oh, Jesus Christ. Spin Doctors.
Yeah, it's the Spin Doctors.
Yeah.
This is the follow-up. This is Jimmy Olsen's Blues.
Oh, of course it is.
Yeah. Good God. Shockingly bad. But yeah, apparently Stephen Hill's, he's like, oh, they're not a one-hit wonder. What about Jimmy Olsen's Blues? Like,
what about it?
Yeah. Got to number 40.
What the fuck about it,
Fuck
Stephen?
Me. Yeah.
I mean, look, man, Stephen's got a big voice. He can fucking defend himself, and I'm not going to fucking chat shit about him when he's not here, but fuck me, dude. Really.
Oh, dear. This one only got to number 60, and I don't remember it once, but you might. I don't know.
I like that.
Again, I know that you had an album by these guys. Oh, here's some smooth grooves.
Come on, man, that's nice.
Feels good.
Oh, that feels good. I mean, this is Velvet Devour, isn't it?
It is. Right, it absolutely is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know the tune.
Oh, right. I wasn't sure if you'd get Velvet Devour at all, but yeah, it's called Something in Your Eyes. I think of it's Jizz.
Yeah. Well, backstage underage adolescent. How you doing? Fucking you couldn't get away with that these days, my friend.
Not. Oh dear me.
Like in so many ways.
Well done for getting it though. That's impressive stuff.
That vocal was like, that's
yeah, really.
I fucking that? I like
fair
that,
dues, man. Fair dues.
And what's that tune? I was taking my eye.
Something in Your Eyes.
What did you say? What album's on?
No, I've just got on the greatest hits there. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna check that.
Have a look at that.
I like that.
Right. This one you'll get. We've done it, but I thought I'd just play it anyway. I mean, we did
the album that it was from.
The album,
it was Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden, exactly. Yeah. It's Hallowed Be Thy Name, and this got to number 9 in the singles charts, which is what you'd expect from an Iron Maiden single. Such drama. Fucking hell, Bruce, come on.
Yeah, it's not Maiden at their best.
No, we definitely covered that, didn't we? Yeah. All right, here's one that you won't. I don't think you'll know it, and you probably won't like it, but you'll recognise who it is, I suspect. Got to number 14.
Oh.
It's definitely got played in some of the indie clubs again.
Yeah. I recognise that voice.
Yeah, Into Your Arms is the name of it. You just said it.
Oh, is it Into Your Arms? I recognise it, man, but it's
it's so far up that you know them very well, but not of them very well. It's Lemonheads.
Oh, there
It's
you go.
Evan
Do you
Dando.
know what, man? That's exactly what I was going to say it was.
Right,
And
there
I
you
went, oh, no, that's what I always say, and it's not.
See, well, this time it would have been the
there
one.
you go.
That would have been it. Here-
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it's the fucking
Of course it
Lemonheads.
fucking
I
is.
knew that.
Of course it is. This one got to number 26. Just watching your face.
I mean, listen to that fucking... listen to that cunt and his cunt voice. And his cunt voice that isn't his actual voice that he's doing because he wants to fucking, like, take the fucking piss and steal fucking shit from fucking working people.
There you
The
go.
Cunt. The art school fucking cunt. I hope he fucking dies.
There you are. That's Dave's
Damon
favourite,
Albarn.
Blur with Sunday Sunday.
Listen to it, though. It's just fucking shit.
Oh, I like that song.
No, you
do.
don't. No, you don't. What is there to like in that?
Oh, it's a good tune. It's
As
a
if
catchy
it, as
tune.
if it is. As if it is.
I like this one as well. And this definitely would have got played in the kind of the old clubs.
I don't remember this, but
Oh, no.
I mean, is it like Populate Itself? Or
Yes,
something,
it
yeah?
is. It's populated itself with RSVP.
I don't remember this one.
I see, right. Yeah, but it's very identifiable as
Yeah.
them, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. This is, again, I've said before, this is kind of the tail end of where they were
Yeah.
a big deal. But this is still a good tune, I reckon. RSVP. And the only other one I've got that I don't even remember, and I can't imagine you'll know it at all. Got to number 40. And they're a band that we did an album of.
It's the Christians.
It's oh man, this does not sound like any of the other ones that I would put.
Is it
for this.
Carter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is. It's Carter, the Unstoppable Sex Machine. This is Lenny and Terrence.
Oh, there you go.
Right, yeah. Well done. I wouldn't have got that at all.
I mean, that was kind of, I just went,
Well, who have we done?
who could it have been that we
Right.
done, you know?
There you go.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be Alita Adams, was it?
No, indeed.
Although you'd have loved
Fleetwood
it.
Mac, yeah. Oh god. All right, so there you go. There's some good stuff in there, you know. That Velvet Biv one sounds pretty decent. That
Yeah.
En Vogue one, maybe it's all right. Salt and Pepper, definitely. Probably stuff I do like, and Eternal Stay.
Yeah. Cool.
Not bad.
That was an all right. It was kind of swing beaty.
Yeah, there's still a lot of that going on.
A lot of kind of like second generation swing beat at that point. It's kind of weird because this is kind of the point where it dies.
That's true, actually. Yeah, this is the graveyard.
And then we start turning into like full blown 90s R&B.
Yeah.
And we start getting fucking Casey and JoJo and shit.
Good God.
Jodeci.
Jesus.
Well,
Well,
no, we got Jodeci to come before Casey and
yeah, we
Dodo.
do, yeah. At least we've got
Jodeci,
out
should I
of the fucking terrible ragga swamp that we were in a couple of months back.
Well, who knows, man? Look, you don't underestimate. Fucking, it could always be creeping up behind you. So you know what you shouldn't do?
What I should know?
Don't turn around.
Thanks, lovely. Right.
That was really laboured how I got there. That could have been much better if I'd have had a minute to edit it.
Fucking bollocks.
What?
I just realised I've still got a fucking load of jokes I wrote and I've not done any of them yet.
Oh, no.
What a shocker. I'll have to do them all in this last section.
Do you want to just do some and then edit them into the podcast as we go?
No, it'll be seamless. You won't even notice. Don't worry. Yeah.
Right, okay, God. Oh, so fuck it. I thought, oh, at least there isn't that. Okay, so
Go ahead.
let's head into the back stretch
Okay.
of this record. So we are on track 9.
Right, yes. And this one is called To Speak is a Sin. And it's an all wine bar again. Soft, kind of tinny drums. Weird keyboard. There's a fake saxophone solo about 2/3 of the way in as well, which is out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've put low slung 80s pop synth soul.
Yeah.
It's got a poignant reflective vocal.
Yeah, yeah.
And a stabby sampled sax.
Right, yeah.
It's quite out of place amongst the high energy records amongst this, I think. And it sounds very dated, and I suspect it sounded dated in 93.
Yeah, exactly. And
And I very much hate the sax solo.
oh, it's awful. It's awful. And I even Neil Tennant sounds like he doesn't want to be on this song.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've just written so insipid.
It is, yeah. Dreary pish is what I put.
Was she in Coronation Street?
Yes, she was. Yeah, and I'm torn between whether I dislike this style of this Pet Shop Boys album more, or I like that cheesy piano, or dislike that more. I don't know, because they're both awful. Yeah. I'm not sure which I hate more.
It's like a perfect storm of shite, isn't it?
It really is.
Well, just turn it off, man. Fuck
yeah,
you. Like,
it's fine.
We don't like it. You get the message, guys.
Indeed. I think I preferred the song they did about the public transport system in Belgrade.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Bus Serbia.
The worst thing about that is someone in your pub garden laughed at exactly that moment, and I was like, "You don't even deserve that."
Bus Serbia, fucking brilliant.
Serbia,
absolutely
fuck
brilliant.
My life, right?
Yeah. Right. So okay, let's do the next one, which is Young Offender.
Yeah, you know who'd like that joke?
Go on.
Our friend Alex Pet Shop Boy Ravitch.
Oh, see, we've got in there a Serbian joke and pets.
Serbia, yeah.
I like it.
A Serbic. Anyway,
Yeah, Young Offender.
Track 10, Young Offender. Oh, here we go. High energy.
Yeah.
Oh, arcade samples.
What is?
No.
Why? Yeah. Now, my first note on this is no. Okay, I hate this more. This is the bit I hate most.
I don't like this at all.
Utter shit. These ray gun bits.
And what we got? Is it going to be an upbeat vocal, or is it going to be another drawly piece of shit?
We'll find out. This is the second longest song on the album as well. So again, hopefully, really deserves its near 5-minute runtime. Squelchy bass.
My note on this is very boring. Seems to be about a relationship with a younger man.
Oh, there's Neil.
Yeah. Yeah, this is turgid.
Really bad.
So
why is this on there? I mean, I get why they put it at the end of the album. I get that bit, but why have they put it on there at all?
I'm not into it, man. It just feels creatively moribund.
Yeah. No, exactly. I was saying, I wonder if there's some of these where they just went, oh, well, we've got this demo that we got halfway through. Let's just chuck it on.
It's so weird, though, that this is the most commercially successful album.
This is the biggest one.
And the thing is, it's like, I wonder. Here's the thing, we say at the start of this record, they kind of skewed off. Had they produced an absolutely fantastic album full of bangers, would they be one of the biggest bands of the 90s?
Would they still be, yeah.
Could they, I mean, who knows? I mean, whether they have this longevity, with the amount of attention it had and the amount of eyes on it, this could have been the album that put them up to the next level.
Maybe.
This would have been the stadium album.
I don't know. It certainly isn't.
Well, no, it certainly isn't. I mean, this is the kind of, I'm amazed you've still got a career after this record.
I mean, I suppose in some of it, we could probably mention that there was a second CD released alongside this, which I think was all remixes.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's what worked for them as well, is that everyone in club world, or especially the gay club world, went, all right, yeah, these mixes really work for a dance floor. Perhaps that was part of the appeal, and that's why it's such a big selling album as well. I don't know.
The answer is we will never know.
No.
Anyway, let's move on.
I think I preferred that song they did about the former president of Uganda between 1971 and 1979.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It's Amin. Yep, that's the good one. Yeah, I told you wouldn't even notice he's coming in, mate.
I like when they put some really tight trousers.
Oh yeah, what was that?
Fits ass in.
Fits. Jesus.
Look, man, I didn't write these down before I arrived. Okay.
Well, I preferred that one they did about the shop in London's Theatre District, which sold those slimming garments.
Oh yeah,
West End girdles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the one they did about the singer of the Misfits when he had his pizza delivery job.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Domino's Danzig.
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah,
brilliant.
And
my last one, that one they did about what it was like to be the man who created the Gestapo. That was being Goring.
What have I done to deserve this?
There we go.
Boom!
Oh, fucking brilliant. Oh, God, right, let's get into the last couple of songs here. Track number 11 of 12 is One in a Million.
Is it, though? Oh, it's pop. I'm glad they've got Stock Aitken and Walkham and PWL production out.
Yeah, fucking Right Said Fred drums again. Bullshit.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This has got the kind of the pacey syncopation vocal that I quite enjoy when they do. Same as the other one that I liked and you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I think this is a solid Pet Shop Boys album track. It builds up and it drops. Look, listen, that sounds like the Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah. Now this one, I think is on the better end of this album. I don't mind this too much. I'm not twitching to turn it off in some of the way I am with some of the other ones.
I would say with a caveat, this is my second favourite on the record.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, it's top 3 for me, but yeah, fine.
But I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's not reflective of the love I have for it.
No, that's by default.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. No,
I actually don't mind a lot of this track.
It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Yeah. And it's not as bad. Exactly. It's not dipping into the real shit that some of the other songs in here are.
It feels like a song.
It does. That's true. This could have been a single.
Yeah.
This could have been a better single.
I'm not sure it wasn't. Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So that's that. And then.
Okay.
So the last track is Go West. The cover of Go West.
Yes.
Okay. Now, everyone knows this.
Yes, indeed. This was put out as the second single off the album as well. Got to number 2. So it was the highest charting of the singles.
And look, this is a Marmite track, isn't it?
You're yeah, probably.
I mean, there are some people that feel very, very strongly about this song.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was very big at the time. It was a big, big deal.
And look, it's ultra, ultra high camp.
Yes, it's like Camp Square.
Yeah,
because it's the Pet Shop Boys covering the Village People.
It's the Pet Shop Boys YMCA. That's what it is. You know, the only thing they could have done more is cover YMCA.
Right, sure.
And you know what? It flies the fucking silly flag. You either lean into it or you take against it.
Okay.
And I personally choose to lean into it.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I can turn off my filters and thoroughly enjoy this. If I can imagine if you're at Pride and they played this, it'd be a highlight of the night.
Oh, it would, because everyone would get swept up with it. This is almost like a football terrace chant along. It's such a big chorus.
And that's the thing. Is, look, it's objectively bad, right?
It's awful.
But that doesn't mean it's not enjoyable.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that are objectively bad that are enjoyable.
No, you're right. I've seen my recollection.
I was going to say, if they weren't, no one would ever have sex with you.
But wait, they don't. Ah. Yeah, no, I think this is really bad. I remember not liking it at the time. This bit, fucking.
I like it.
And yeah, I haven't come around to it at all.
No, see,
it's fucking massive. It's huge.
See, I'm on the other end of this, and this is when I say with a caveat that other song's my second favourite.
I see.
The caveat is that I kind of don't really class this as in this. This to me exists in its own little kind of like party anthem space, along with some Scooter songs.
Oh God, okay, right. But I would say it also doesn't exist alongside the rest of this album. No, this is an absolute outlier. Yeah. Obviously, it is a cover version, so it's not a Pet Shop Boys song, even though they've done their own thing with it. But it sounds so far removed from the rest of the album that it's like this is almost when a band puts out a song that is a hit by mistake, and they re-release the album, put it on there. Yeah. That's what this is to me, even though it was on the original release. But that's because it just sounds so different to the rest.
Easy being tacked onto the end of Angel Dust.
There you go, exactly. Yeah. Sit Down being tacked on the Gold Mother. Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah. Look, so that's that one, right? And you know, I present no argument to your opinion on it. I'm well aware. I think both points of view are equally valid.
Fine.
And then there's another track on here called Postscript, and look, fuck it, I don't even bother playing it. It's a plinky piano. It's a harmonica. It's a non-event. That's basically what it is. It's about 20 seconds worth of fucking track, isn't it?
Well, the one I've got is there's vocals where he goes, "I love ecstasy."
Is there that? I don't think I even heard that. At the end of harmonica.
There's some Eurythmics bit in here. I believe in ecstasy.
I don't remember hearing this
bizarre.
Bit. Maybe something happened when I fucking played it.
I'm assuming that's Chris from the Pet Shop Boys, Chris Loeb, but
I don't know.
Weird.
Oh, I haven't heard all of this. And this must have cut out when I was listening to it.
It's 30 seconds long.
Well, I know, but I didn't even get this. I got to the harmonica and it stopped.
Oh, weird. Well, yeah, that's all it does. That's it. There you go. That is a hidden track.
Yeah, non-event. There you go.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Don't care.
Totally fair.
Right, so look, do you want to go to Twitter?
Let's have a look and see, yes, because we put out a message on Twitter to see if anybody else had any particular memories of this album or if they bought it at the time, etc., etc. And we had a decent amount of responses, actually, so thank you again to everyone who did get in contact. I think some people were in the same boat as me. I'm going to go for the first one. I'm going to go Bradder77 because it fits in with this. Also, Bradder77, thank you again, mate, for the very nice donation that you left us. That was really, really sweet of you. He said they're very much a singles band for me. And after the two bigger songs, I knew nothing off this album. Listening to it today, it's not aged well at all. Too many Stock Aitken Waterman vibes. Absolutely. But I did enjoy To Speak Is a Sin. Definitely one of the better Pet Shop Boys deep cuts. Can't agree with you on that particular song, but I agree with you on the overview for sure. I don't get this album. A singles band is exactly what they are to me. I'd probably want a singles collection 86 to 89 and then stop. I don't necessarily need anything after that.
Yeah.
But we also have a Cliff from the Carolina Brunswick, Smogo on Twitter. He said he just listened to it today for the first time. Sounds in part like a band that's run out of ideas and are verging on self-parody. Yep. So yeah, some of that does, I'll give you that. A few good songs at the start and in the middle, but Tennant's high-pitched sound too strained, and listening to it made me feel a little ill after a while. Well, can't help you with that. But it does sound, some of those sound almost self-parody because... you know what they can do, and this isn't it.
DJ Mike Luttrell is here with Can You Forgive Her is in my top 5 favourite Pet Shop Boys songs.
Mate,
I can see a case for that. I like it.
Top 5?
Thank you for... Mike gave a nice shout out for me earlier and recommended my Edinburgh show to a punter earlier.
Excellent stuff.
I mean, it would be, had I got one. I'm not there this year.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers, Mike. I do appreciate it, though, man. The thought was there, so thank you.
Indeed.
But yeah, no, not there this year.
Well, we will be up there, so if anyone wants to come and just, we'll tell you some jokes.
Yeah.
That's fine. No problem.
Yeah, we'll do it. There'll be a bucket at the end.
Yeah.
I say a bucket. I mean, you can fuck Krista in the arse.
Yay! There we go.
Okay. Phil Guthrie. This was a fun overt. This is the 3-tweet opus here. Yeah, this was a fun, overtly pop album after the grown-up and yes, slightly boring behaviour. It also has far too many orchestral stabs. There was plenty of the high energy stuff they do quite well. A bit of politics and an iconic cover version. Favourite tracks are Can You Forgive Her, as much for the daft video as anything. Yesterday, When I Was Mad, for having a snark at the critics and poking fun at themselves, and The Theatre, inspired by a quote from a Tory MP who said, "Homeless were those who you stepped over as you left the theatre."
Well, indeed, as we said,
Phil likes that a lot more than we do, I think.
Well, indeed. I mean, he has mentioned Can You Forgive Her, which is one that you liked and I thought was all right, and The Theatre, which I actually did quite like in the end. So there's a couple that I would agree with you that. But no, you definitely sounds like he likes the album in general more than we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But he is an idiot, so, Cheers, there is that. Thanks, Phil.
Cheers, Phil.
Ben Collins, he's chimed in and says, I liked it well enough at the time, but I don't think it's aged anywhere near as well as their earlier stuff. Absolutely fair point. It's a bit too close to musical theatre for me. One of the coolest CD cases of all time, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll give you that.
Richard Toomey asks, will you be covering bonus CD Relentless? I came with it too. No.
No. Yeah, short answer. No, we really couldn't be bothered.
No, I'm sorry, man. Maybe we could have done one or the other, maybe, but that's not really our vibe.
Nah, well, it didn't officially get to number 1, so that's why we kept it just to that one.
Cool.
Yeah. Martin Young said, this album offers... and before we get into this, I knew Martin was going to have a very positive opinion, because this is the sort of shit he loves. Yeah. So Martin said, this album offers a perfect example of the pop genius of the Pet Shop Boys. It has a lot of ecstatic exuberance, but will hit you with a heart-stopping moment of sadness in a way that few artists can match. See, for example, To Speak Is a Sin or Dreaming of the Queen. I mean, you just put 2 of my least favourite songs in there. I
mean, as always with these things, I mean, the part of me that's going, what the fuck are you smoking, Martin? And can I have some of it? But also, a bit of jealousy, because I'd always rather, you're getting something out of it than we're not. So you're beating us on that.
Indeed, and he's gone on to say, I think even though it's their most commercially successful album, it's a bit underrated due to having Go West on it, and it contains some of their finest moments. But again, having not heard any other Pet Shop Boys albums in full, I can't argue that. He says it's also a pivotal album for them in terms of it's the first one after Neil Tennant came out, and it's fascinating within that context.
Now, see, look, yes, I'm sure that is the case, but I don't. I mean, I wasn't a particularly worldly kid. I wasn't I didn't wasn't versed in sexual politics, but I'm fairly sure I always knew Neil Tennant was gay.
I mean, if I didn't know, because obviously I couldn't have known, I always just assumed.
Yeah.
How can it have been, 7 years of them putting out music and doing interviews and being on TV and it not being a known fact at that point? But obviously, it was the official one. He did an interview with Attitude magazine, I think, 94, and it was the official coming out. And yes, if you do look at some of these songs in the context of him finally expressing his own feelings, there are things that you can definitely see. Oh, the lyrics mean this in a different way. I get that.
And let's not be trying to be fucking glib about that and devalue that experience 100%, man.
No, sure. It's a big deal.
Yeah, but I'm more surprised. I mean, I didn't know that, the story in the context of that. I'm just surprised it was that late that he came out.
Exactly. How can you listen to anything they've put out and go, I'm not sure, don't know?
So Gaz Jones, who we owe a message to, and we'll actually
we'll get back to it.
hopefully we'll have messaged you by the time this comes out. Apart from that god awful cover of Go West, disagree. The only thing I remember is the amazing orange Lego brick texture of the CD case. Fair enough. David O'Brien, the album still has some classic Pet Shop Boys moments. Their ability to rescue obtuse, almost cringe verse setups with glorious choruses is largely undiminished here. However, those orchestral hits are starting to sound hideously out of date, and there's a couple of tracks here that shouldn't have seen the light of day.
Agree.
Yeah, we're walking a similar path. I think we're probably a little bit further down the line than you. Was a massive Pet Shop Boys fan in the actually introspective era, but they lost me with this album. And if you listen to the next couple of albums, it seems they lost themselves. And I don't think we would disagree with that.
No, it's possible, but I'm going to tell you for a fact, I'm not going to listen to those albums because we don't have to. This was their only number one album. So I'm not going to listen to any more Pet Shop Boys albums.
You better hope you're not in a long car drive with me at any point soon.
Shit.
Or sharing a hotel room.
Oh.
Stephen Hill is here. Can You Forgive Her is the fucking shit. Happy to kick anyone who doesn't like the Pet Shop Boys head in, but this is far from their greatest album, unfortunately. Yeah, agree with you there, mate.
No,
so, as always, thank you for everyone that got in touch.
Much appreciated.
Yeah,
really
as I say, I was very disappointed by this record.
Absolutely. I thought it was a bad album.
I thought it was a very, very, very bad album.
Yeah.
Not quite up there in the echelons of the worst stuff we've heard.
No.
But knocking on the door.
It's absolutely. I mean, let's say we've done somewhere in the region of 90 episodes now. This is probably going to be bottom 20 for me, definitely. Possibly bottom 10.
I would also say what it is top 5, possibly top 3 most disappointing albums.
Oh, right, because it should have been brilliant.
Because I come into this and leave as a fan of the Pet Shop Boys.
Gotcha.
And I was hoping to find a bit more gold on this.
Yeah, no, exactly. That should have been so much better.
Yeah.
But then again, whenever we look back at, for example, that Fleetwood Mac from 1990, they fucking wrote Rumours and then they came out with that nonsense.
Well, I mean, they wrote Rumours 20 years, and then that nonsense, and also more cocaine than you could fit in this room.
That's true. That is true.
Big high ceiling room.
Well, we got to choose one or more songs to put on a playlist. I don't know what we're going to agree on in this one.
I mean,
what did you say your second favourite was?
Would be One in a Million.
One in a Million. Okay, yeah.
I don't think I'd even make the case for that going on the playlist.
No.
I think the only thing I would make the case for the playlist on is Can You Forgive Her? But and you're not even.
Oh no, I think it's all right. I think it's fine. But there are so many other ones that I think are much worse that I suspect that's going to be the
What
one.
do you think is better than that?
I actually did like The Theatre, but you really didn't like it.
No, I very much did not like that.
And if we could do remixes, I think the single mix, if I wouldn't normally do that kind of thing, is okay, but we can't. It's not the album version. No, I think Can You Forgive Her is the only one that we're even both slightly on the same page.
Yeah, stick it on.
Fine, that's it.
There we go. Well done, and I appreciate that. That's a compromise on your part.
It is, but yeah,
I will owe you one.
Essentially, we have to put one on, and there was nothing else was going to come close to that.
The only other suggestions we have to put 2 on.
No, can't do that to people.
No, thank you.
No. All right, well, that's that done. Nice one.
All right, okay, yeah, we will be back as soon as we can with...
Who knows?
Fucking Take That.
Yeah, Take That album. I'm imagining it'll be after Edinburgh. The next episode will be out because we're going to go up there for a week.
Yeah, we're in Edinburgh from the 22nd to the 26th. If you are in Edinburgh and you want to meet us for a pint, we're going to be in a lot of pubs. Going to be watching a lot of Fringe shows, catching up with a lot of people. Giving a if you are going up to Edinburgh Fringe, I want to shout out a couple of people that have been on the show.
Absolutely, yeah.
Our friend Rich Wilson has got a show, Just Tonic the Caves.
Indeed, Rich Wilson, who was on our Depeche Mode episode.
We love Rich here. Go and see his show. Our great friend Sean McLaughlin from the ABBA episode is doing a show in the Pleasance.
Brilliant comedian.
Called So Be It. He's my favourite comedian
Just
in the
astoundingly
country.
good.
He's fucking astoundingly good. And go and see him. He's fucking fantastic. Our friend Darren, who was on the Def Leppard episode, is not a comedian, but he's doing some fantastic work in fire safety. If you want to go and see him in Stevenage, just send us a message. I'll send you the address of his company. I'm not sure if there are tickets available. Maybe just go and stand in his office.
I think he just passes a bucket around.
Yeah, exactly.
We can also kind of claim that Angela Barnes was on the show because she gave us a little kind of vox pop for one of our 1992 episodes, and she's got a show going on up there.
Big up Angela. I mean, to be fair, I don't think she needs us to help us sell the tickets.
No, mate, she's doing really well.
Yeah, selling out every day at the Pleasance at the moment. Big up Angela. We love you. And
I think that's everyone that we've had on.
Everyone that we've had on, but yeah, there's lots of other people that we would recommend.
Yeah,
but I think we might do some tweets and recommend some shows.
Oh, we definitely should.
In the last week of the Fringe, so it's far too late to get up there and see anyone.
Exactly. Fuck you. If you haven't seen
but if you're in Edinburgh, you want to be, give us a shout. Also, if you're at the Rage Against the Machine Run the Jewels gig in Edinburgh, we're going to be at that. So see us early because we're going to get fucked up.
Indeed, we are.
Cannot wait. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you soon, motherfuckers.
Nice one. See you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for checking out this episode of Pop Collaborate and Listen. It was produced and edited by us, for which we can only apologise. We are on Twitter at PCL Podcast, on Instagram also at PCL Podcast, and Facebook.com/PCL Podcast. All of these, plus links to our various Spotify playlists, etc., are on our website, which is PCLpodcast.com. Please feel free to get in contact via any of the social media or on PCLmusicpodcast@gmail.com.